Hello and welcome to another discussion of video games here at DualShockers, where today we're actually going to be talking about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It's the premiere trailer for the new Assassin's Creed game in the series. And today I'm actually joined by my good wrestling buddy, Michael Ruiz, who's going to help talk about this trailer. Hi, how's it going, Mike?
Oh yeah, I'm doing good today. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. I'm getting my Viking experience as we speak.
Oh
So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
very, very excited. I'm taking a nice
Viking
vacation.
Experience. It's not Viking Experience anymore. It's Viking
Well,
Raiders.
depending on which timeline you exist in, I
Sure,
guess.
sure. Fair.
Or they were War Raiders. Okay, no, hold on. This is already going off
Yeah.
the rails. This is already going off the rails. But anyways, yes, the new trailer dropped. Well, yesterday actually was a big reveal with Boss Logic, basically painting out just a giant art image, which was slowly revealing what this plot would the game actually would be about. But finally, now we actually have a trailer. We have some context, I guess, of what this
Yep.
this game's going to be directly related to. And there's some interesting things in this, especially the last few seconds, which is awesome. It's probably like the coolest moment in a trailer I've seen in a while. So yeah, I just want to talk to you. What before we do that, what is your history with the Assassin's Creed series?
It's a pretty, I would say, a pretty long history. uh, Assassin's Creed 1 was the first game I bought for my PS3. Well, it's not mine. Actually, it was like the family's PS3. I had a 360 and my family bought a PS3 um because it was a cheap Blu-ray player at the time. Like it was like $400
Oh
for a
yeah,
Blu-ray player at that point, and that was cheap for one.
yeah, that was a
Um,
steal.
yeah, but Assassin's Creed was the first game that I got for that system for some reason, and I don't know. I wasn't really into it, to be honest. So I kind of just never played an Assassin's Creed game at all up until Assassin's Creed 4,
The best
Black
one.
Flag. And that game is incredible. That was like one of the first games I bought for when Xbox One PS4 generation was coming.
Yeah.
That was like one of the first games I bought for that system. I've ever since then I've played just about every Assassin's Creed game. Uh, since then, I haven't finished all of them,
Yeah, for sure.
um, but they get very lengthy
They're
as
very
time
long
goes on
games.
from Black Flag up until now.
Now they're the
Black,
longest I've ever seen them, but yeah, you're
yeah,
right.
they're crazy long. I didn't finish Odyssey. I played a lot of it though. I think I played at least like 30 or like 20 hours of it or so.
Yeah, you're only level
I
10 by those 30 hours.
Yeah, I did beat Black Flag. I did beat Unity, and I am one of
Really?
the weird ones. Yeah, I am one of the weird ones who like Unity. I didn't have the problem. I saw the problems online, like that was like a big thing at that point. And I know there's problems exist. I didn't have them though, and I really enjoyed my time with Unity. Syndicate I never beat, but I did play a lot of it. Origins I beat, and I that's probably my favorite Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Uh, and then yeah, I played about 20, maybe 30 hours of Odyssey. I played a lot of it. I just never beat it. Uh, so yeah, I'm super stoked for Valhalla.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, yeah. I mean, in similar where, well, I was a 360 guy when that generation happened. So one of the first few games that came out that year was Assassin's Creed, not that year, but for that console, and I hated it. I thought it was boring. I didn't like collecting feathers, and I don't know. I just didn't think it was that interesting. Um, and then I had the same opinion about Mass Effect. That is also has since changed. But basically, once two came out, that's when I was like, all right. For some reason, this appeals to me, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's the Italian in me. that, but honestly, I think it was because I think Enzio was actually a compelling character as opposed to oh my god,
Altair.
Altair. Yeah, just way more
Yeah.
compelling. So then I followed that series from then on. Getting increasingly disappointed as the series continued. Once you get
I did.
to,
Oh, you know what? I did play all of three.
you did play
I
all
don't.
three.
I
Okay,
did play all of three. Yes.
okay, got you. Did you wonder what happened to Christian Bell? Because there was a lot of shit that happened in between that.
No, I don't. I didn't know anything. I had never touched Assassin's Creed 2. I've never touched an Ezio game. By the way, people are probably going to yell at you for calling him Encio. So, but yeah,
I'm
I
sorry. I'm thinking of what's his face, the wrestler.
Enzo.
Yeah, I'm thinking about Enzo Amore.
Enzo Amore. Oh my lord, that's a cursed name now. I'm
uh,
pretty sure.
depending on who you talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, I never played any Ezio game like Brotherhood. None of them.
yeah.
I haven't played. I don't know that character at all, which is like the most beloved character in the franchise, probably.
I know, and it's funny because because I feel like if you play those games now, it would just not feel the same. But yeah, back then when like you had the current timeline, which would conflict with obviously going back to the past and revisiting your ancestors. Um, that was my I was having a good time with that story, even like to the plot when they killed Christian Bell. Spoilers for an old ass game. Um, but then you get to the end of that third one, and it feels like everything that you've been leading up to that point feels like it has the same problem to me as what people have problems for Mass Effect 3, where everything lit up and it was just sort of like a just a whiff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, well, I'm kind of done. And then, of course, I didn't jump on Black Flag immediately, but of course, when the essentially the new consoles came out, they were just giving that game away with the bundle.
Yeah.
I think at that point, Unity had come out, and and then they had a bundle which was both Black Flag, which was 4, and then Unity. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, cool, great value, So I ended up buying an Xbox, the original Xbox One, the big honking like VCR looking one.
Yes.
And then of course I just spent many many hours sailing the seas and singing the shanties and enjoying the main character Conway
Edward Kenway. Yeah.
Kenway, who's played by Matt Ryan, who's actually Constantine on Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh no way. Oh, I did know that.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like, oh, I really like this guy, and then I'm like, this Constantine show, he sounds familiar, and I'm like, oh, this is great. But ultimately, that's my history, and then, Unity came out. I tried to play Unity. I've never finished it.
Yeah.
I can't do it. There's a mission in there I just can't finish. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me.
There were some choices in that video game. I like I said, I enjoyed it. I feel like that's kind of like the last one of like. There's like a gameplay difference, obviously, between Origins and then like Assassin's Creed before that.
Yeah, for sure.
So I feel like that's like one of the last ones that kind of had more traditional Assassin's Creed combat in it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But yeah, they had some choices there.
Yeah, and then I believe Syndicate comes out next, and this is calling to me because I'm a huge Anglophile. I love Doctor Who. I love London. I love I love the Clash. I love the Smiths, the Beatles. But for some reason, I did put some time in that game, and I did play it, but nothing propelled me. Again, it was just something where just like the main characters were not to me compelling enough to me to finish their stories, and that goes the same thing with Unity.
Yeah. I think for me, I got Unity later, and there was nothing coming out, so nothing ever pulled me away. Mm-hmm. So I just kept on playing, and like I said, I enjoyed my time with it. Syndicate I got the day it came out, and I don't know, when I always get pulled in a bunch of different directions with video games. So if something like calls to me and I'm like, this new game like calls to me, I'll totally play through all of it, and I'll play through it like super fast. That was not the case with Syndicate. I think something pulled me away from Syndicate during that time. Something had to have for me not to finish it. But
no, for sure.
Yeah.
Halo 5.
Maybe.
maybe. But basically, yeah. So that was the series at that point, and then they took. Is this the time when they took a year off? And that's when we got Origins.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Because Odyssey came out right after Origins. So yes, this has to be the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, they took it like a multi-year off. The movie came out though in that time, if you remember that.
Yes, I did see that movie, and it is something.
Yep, and it's canon. If you play Origins, it's canon.
Yep.
Which is weird. But basically, Origins drops. I don't play it immediately because I'm burnt out at the series at this point. And then I hear, everyone's talking about it. Everyone's saying like they're having a good time. Kind of funny's talking about it constantly. Well, not, or actually, no, they're talking more about Odyssey, but they brought it up, and I'm listening to it. And then I don't know what did it, but I decided to like, I'm just gonna buy it, and I played it on PS4, and I had a blast. I had a good time.
Yeah, it's really good. I really really enjoy Origins. It's probably my like I just like the setting. Like I've been wanting Egypt is like one of those settings that like was on my wish list of settings for an Assassin's Creed to be in. So
Yeah,
to see that actually happen and it be really good was really great.
yeah, to be able to actually climb a pyramid and slide down, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I'm also a huge Brendan Fraser fan, so I was a big fan of The Mummy. So very
Yeah,
much wanted to live my mummy life.
naturally.
Naturally.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, no, I think, what I really think what it was is that I think people really took to Bayek and that world and his wife, and to actually see these characters develop, it had a very much a like John Wick effect of like, you are clearly avenging for something, and therefore the through line, which is he's going to kill those sons of bitches.
Yeah.
So
I Yeah, I think it was just also just like that was the departure from the traditional Assassin's
yes,
Creed formula, and it definitely favored like RPG mechanics and stuff like that, which I mean every game does now, and it's kind of unavoidable and
yeah,
inevitable. But like it does it really well, and like the choice based stuff too, and all that. It was just all really well done, and then it's improved on I think in Odyssey,
yes,
um, and as well, and also giving you like the two different characters and stuff like that. It was just as it was really different for those two are incredibly different for Assassin's Creed games, and they're both like good, like sometimes there are games that come out that change a formula and sometimes it doesn't hit. I feel like, at least to me, I feel like these two, Odyssey and Origins, hit, and they're great. I think they're really solid for
yeah,
sure.
and they're great games that complement each other for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, which now here we go. We bring
Yes.
ourselves up to today's date. We've caught ourselves up on the timeline.
Yes.
Today, I don't even know what day it is because quarantine.
Hold on. Let me talk about yesterday.
Yeah, talk about yesterday.
I had that stream on all day.
Really?
Yeah, because I was going to play Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and I was playing it, and people are like, "This Assassin's Creed stream is starting." I'm like, "It's 6 o'clock in the morning. Why? One, why am I up?
Yeah.
Two, uh, why is this starting right now?" So I put it on. I'm like, okay, this dude's just do. I mean, I
Using
know Boss
Photoshop.
Logic's art. Boss Logic has like freaking
I mean,
crazy good.
yeah.
He's a crazy, amazing artist. Like as someone who really likes Mortal Kombat, he's like heavily into that. He was doing a lot of Mortal Kombat stuff, so I saw a lot of that, and he's incredible.
That's awesome.
But yeah, like it's it was really really interesting because I would always come back and I'd be like, "There's a castle there now," and I look back again, I'm like, "There are soldiers there now." And there's a path to the castle, and like none of that was there before, and like my
It was
mind was and then I like actually watch him do it. I'm like, what is this man doing? Like to make this scene look so good, and then like the end product of it, like seeing it from beginning to end,
yeah.
was kind of awesome. I know a lot of people didn't. I don't know how many people like disliked it or liked
It
it.
was talked about.
Uh,
I mean, I
yeah,
heard it from so many places, not just from even game Twitter. I saw it on Facebook. People were talking about it,
yeah,
which is just mostly family and friends. And yeah,
yeah,
people were talking about. I was like, oh man, this Assassin's Creed game looks interesting. And then we literally saw nothing of it yesterday. We just saw
yeah.
this man
It was legitimately
playing on
just like
Photoshop.
it was like this crazy nice awesome like key art for the game, and
Yeah,
like it looks awesome, and like it kind of it showed like the tone of the game and like where it's going to be set and stuff. And then all of us at DualShockers, like I know me and staff writer Ben Bayless, like we're talking about it like all day, like trying to figure out like when this was and stuff, and we like kind of pinpointed it. Today we found out we were kind of wrong, but we were kind of right. So like uh yeah, it was definitely fun. I actually really enjoyed the reveal yesterday. I thought it was a really cool way to do it. I know some people might. I know sitting around on a on a computer for 8 hours, if you're just watching that man do this stuff for 8 hours, might not been like, you know,
And part of me was like,
the
is he actually doing it live or did he record this? I was like,
I feel like they recorded it because it was
because they had the
exactly eight
soundtrack too,
hours.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, it was
it
exactly
was
8 hours.
exactly 8 hours.
Holy
It
crap!
was from like 6 in the morning until 3 or something like that. I don't know. Is that
Wow,
8? I don't know.
that's a long
But
time.
it was a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it went on for it was but it was really cool. Like I had never seen someone do that live, and so seeing how that stuff is made, or seeing how at least they do their thing, like, was really cool.
Yeah, and what
So
I like about, especially with the way that they revealed it, was the only thing that we knew about this game was that it was called like either Project Kingdoms or Ragnarok, and
yeah,
that's
Ragnarok
all we
was the
knew.
name that was going around, I believe.
Yeah, and then Jason Schreier said something about Kingdom, but basically we knew pretty much nothing other than you can extrapolate obviously from Ragnarok that it's going to be Vikings or Norse mythology, or the
Yeah.
idea of Norse mythology.
Yeah, the rumors going around were definitely like, this is gonna be a Viking game. It was like,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, and it wasn't like past Assassin's Creed games where like stuff at GameStop got leaked, and it was like, oh, this game's gonna be called Syndicate because it's gonna take place in
Yeah,
London,
yeah.
like stuff like that. And I worked at GameStop at the time, and I remember that coming out. I was like, ooh, at least it wasn't me, because I
Yeah.
absolutely knew the name of that game before it came out. But yeah, I knew what it was about. It was pretty cool. But
Yep.
basically, then the next day happens. We have this
Yes.
trailer. We watched it. I've seen it. I'm watching it over and over again as we talk because the the trailer is just playing in the middle of this
I've
video.
only seen it once, so you might have to remind me. And I got some of the I know some of the key moments.
Yeah,
So
some of the key moments. But essentially, yeah, it very much looks like this sort of. And again, I'm not a history major, so don't crucify me with this. But it's very much a sort of like Viking story told from the perspective of. It looks like they have a very prosperous, like loving community, but then there's this like king who I'm not sure which nations he's from. He's like
they're Anglo-Saxon.
Anglo Saxons, okay,
Yeah.
and then they're very much
Uh
just portraying them as like these monsters.
yes. Hold on. There's actually, you keep talking. There's actually like stuff like the actual king's name and
Oh, great, yeah. If you pull that up,
all that information came out
yeah.
today.
But essentially, so as the course of the trailer, I mean, I know this is not any gameplay or anything, but it looks stunning. It's telling a story. It's getting me interested. It's getting me interested in what looks to be the main protagonist of this, which I hope is the main protagonist, because he looks like someone that I want to like rage with. I want to actually go out and whatever
Hmm.
the conflict is, I want to kill. Because at the end of this trailer, he is a badass, especially when he pulls out the actual assassin's blade. There is a moment in the trailer that I want to talk about where he refers to someone as Odin, but I
Yes.
have a feeling that's not Odin because I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it closely, and sure, it's a man in a with a tarp on or a poncho, whatever you want to call it, and he
A
has a,
robe.
a robe. Oh, that's the word I was looking for. Um, but he has a gray beard and he just hid behind a tree. And right after that moment, the main character of this trailer, uses the Assassin's Creed blade. Um, it looks like I almost said Enzo again. It very much looks like the protagonist of two. Which, if you played any of I mean, this is me speculating. This is nothing confirmed. People, this is just me saying it. But I'd be really happy if somehow this tied into that. But then again, I don't know what time frame this is. I don't know.
So from what so what we've been talking about, like,
Yeah,
behind, like, with DualShockers and stuff, this would be this. How about I just read this one second?
go for it.
Because this kind of gives a sec. This is from the website,
Okay, yes,
from the
please
Assassin's
give me
Creed
some
website.
actual information. I'm just basing
There,
this all
there's
information on
no
trailer.
there's no year, but it says Assassin's Creed Valhalla takes place toward the end of the ninth, a time when Norse tribes were leaving their home in Scandinavia and sailing to the collection of fractured kingdoms known as Anglo-Saxon England. It's here during this age of transition that you'll take on the role of Ivor, who is the protagonist, who's the person you see with the assassin's blade at the end, the person that they're focusing on. That is Ivor, and lead your people to a new land in the search for a new home. As you embark on Valhalla's epic Viking journey, you'll lead deadly raiding parties, fight in massive battles, and build up a prosperous settlement, all within the historical backdrop of ninth century England. So that is the time frame, ninth century England.
Okay. So you said ninth century.
Ninth century England.
Okay,
I
so
believe Assassin's Creed 2
is
is,
15th because I'm looking it up right now.
yeah. I was
So
just saying I'm
I'm
pretty
wrong.
sure that's later. The thing is though is that I mean the giveaway for that being Odin, like before that was the Raven that
No, for
flew.
sure.
Um, whether or not that's actually Odin or whatever, I'm sure we'll learn. The interesting bit about that is that if it brings like the mythology, I mean, obviously it will bring the mythology, but if it'll be like like these gods and stuff are actually like real people and stuff like that are coming down to Earth and
Yeah.
helping these people, because that's like a lot of what that like the Norse mythology stuff is that those people come to Earth, they help them out and stuff like that. They help the Vikings out and stuff like that. So
No, for sure.
uh I mean that's a very broad strokes of what Norse mythology is,
Well,
but,
I'm wondering if
but
how
yeah.
well, because in the grander scheme of Assassin's Creed is that, well, in the for early goings, it very much was about this. Sorry, it was very much about the current day situation, reflecting back to the old days of the ancestors. But it had something to do with this major plot with aliens at the end of the day, which was like Adam and Eve, and then this like god creature. Now,
Yeah.
quote unquote, gods slash aliens exist in this world, I guess. So I'm curious about what the introduction of Odin, and then if I'm not mistaken, because I didn't play this part, but if in Odyssey there was a whole side quest, if you did it, and spoilers for Odyssey, where there was Atlantis is involved, and like someone becomes like the ruler of Atlantis.
I
So
have no idea. Yeah.
yeah, apparently I don't know. There's like a side plot that I heard. I don't know if I mean this has to. I don't know if it don't take this for grain of salt, but I've heard some interesting things about with Atlantis. But basically, gods exist in that context. Now, in the new Assassin's Creed, very much it's like very straightforward. So I'm curious if like with these characters like an Odin or who else gets involved, like what is their involvement with the story, if at all, or if they're just sort of a sort of background piece to it. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm curious with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but in terms of everything that you described of what they're angling the plot, it's definitely being demonstrated in the trailer, and that to me is great because that gives me the same through line that I had with like sort of Bayek and then I would say in Ezio.
Yeah.
I'm going to have these emotional attachments to these main characters, and they're going to help propel me forward to the end goal, which is to
Yeah.
bring prosperity to their people. So that definitely excites me. In terms of like the grander things that are going to be in the game, what most excites you when it comes to like this world? I guess is it pretty much going to be sailing in your Viking ships with your giant crew, or is it going to be like climbing, I guess, castles, or like what are some things that you think this game is going to bring that you're excited for?
I mean, like, I guess like the idea of like a Viking assassin's kind of odd.
Yeah, it's brute
Because
force
when
versus
you
silent killer.
yeah. So I think like seeing how they portray that, I think will be really interesting. There are some like features that were like noted on the website that I think sound like kind of interesting. There's a thing that says you'll lead epic raids, so I guess there's going to be like these giant assault
Oh man,
missions,
everyone's
maybe.
everyone's gonna
Um,
have to like just jump on these platforms and like, remember
so
to
I
know
mean,
Morse code in order to unlock these treasure loots.
yeah. So I'd like to see what that even entails. Because I really don't know what that would mean, really. Like, is it gonna be like the gang thing that they had in Syndicate, if I
Yeah,
remember right from that,
yeah.
or if
Syndicate
it'll
had
be
a gang
something
thing, and then
different?
Brotherhood also had a gang thing, which was awesome.
Yeah. So I just want to see what that ends up being. There's also like I guess a customizable like settlement that you'll have. And again, that's something that I'm like, I really just don't understand. I just want to see what that even means, like what that even
Yeah.
looks like in that game. Like, are you going to be like plotting where buildings are? I assume you won't. I assume it'll be a quote unquote customizable in that like
Yeah.
you'll be able to upgrade buildings and stuff like that. But like the layout will be the same.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because
Um,
Assassin's Creed 2 had stuff like that, if I'm not mistaken. You had like this like main area that was like your family home, and if I remember correctly, you upgrade stuff. But
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
because this little section says, grow and customize your own settlement by recruiting new clan members and building upgradable structures. Get better troops by constructing a barracks. Improve your weapons at the blacksmith. Discover new customization options with a tattoo parlor and much more. So you'll
Hell
be
yeah.
able. It seems like you'll be able to like do a little bit more cosmetic customization too with like
Okay.
your person.
Sure.
Also, like I don't, they didn't show it in the trailer or anything, or even really mention it. Uh, I believe you will be able to choose between a male and female protagonist.
Interesting.
Because the collector's edition, like all the pre-order stuff, is available now. You can check out what the collector's edition and stuff like that. The statue is a female version of the protagonist.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
so yeah, that thing is coming back from um
No, that's good. You know.
Odyssey, which is good. Like that's awesome
Yeah,
that
give a
they're
player
doing that.
choice.
I was like confused because they didn't show that in the trailer, so I'm like, oh, is it just gonna be the dude protagonist? Which like, is whatever, it's fine either way. But I always like having choices, so
Yeah, it opens up the
yep,
player base. You know, people want to
yep.
experience these stories in different ways, and that's that's awesome. I played Odyssey
Yeah.
actually as Cassandra because she to me was the more interesting one.
I like their voice acting more.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh,
And I wanted to feel like Wonder Woman in that game for sure.
yeah,
You know,
true. Yeah.
so yeah,
Uh,
no, 100%.
I guess there's also like you could create your own like mercenary Vikings, and
Oh,
there's like an online feature, but I really don't know what that even means too. Is there going to be like a multiplayer mode? Like they've done that before. It's not
yeah.
like that's unheard of. So I wonder if they're going to have like another multiplayer mode where you'll customize like a Viking person, some PvP thing. I don't know.
Well,
Um, so yeah, all of it sounds like really, really interesting though. Um, and the trailer, I think, like after like seeing that stuff, like seeing these features, like the settlement stuff and the big raids and whatever, like that stuff is definitely in the trailer.
yeah.
It just doesn't really like tell you obviously because it's just it's a cinematic.
No, for sure.
Um, the one thing that I want to discuss right now
Yes.
is the platform thing because at the end of the trailer,
Yes.
they just showed the Xbox logo,
Yeah,
and
if you're
I thought
watching
that
live right now, it's actually the logo you can still see right in the corner of this video.
yeah, oh, nice. But yeah, so it only showed the Xbox logo,
Yes.
and like viewing it on the live stream, I was like, I mean, obviously this game's gonna come to PS4 and PS5, and PC, but I was like, is this going to be a timed exclusive, or is this going to be like a thing that they've always done? I think Assassin's Creed 4 did it at least, where they had like exclusive content first on PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
If there's going to be some sort of partnership there, when I looked on the website, they did say that it was coming to, it's coming to Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PS4, PS5, PC, and Stadia. So
Hell yeah, the only place to play is Stadia, baby.
yeah,
2 months free
Stadia.
trial. Let's
Everyone's
go.
favorite video game platform, Stadia, is going to have the new Assassin's
Add
Creed
me on
on it.
Stadia, guys. My Stadia name is Mario Rivera.
Wow,
That's right. I secured it.
nice.
Play
But
PUBG.
yeah, like yes. But yeah, like it's going to come to all platforms. But I thought it was interesting that they did just show the Xbox logo and stuff. I mean, obviously, I think that indicates some sort of partnership.
No, it's a
What that
change. It's a change
what
in guard. You know, like you said.
Yeah.
I remember Syndicate for sure was definitely PS4 exclusive stuff. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I do know that Odyssey did have I think it was premiered at an Xbox event, or they had some sort of Xbox exclusivity stuff.
Something
Same
happened.
same with I believe Origins. I might be wrong though. Again, like I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, time's a flat
Um
circle.
yeah. I also have a terrible memory.
But I
But
do distinctly remember there was a period of time where I believe PlayStation had an excuse, had a lock. Well, Xbox
I,
first had a lock on Assassin's Creed because it was on Xbox, if I'm not mistaken, first, the original Assassin's Creed,
I believe so. Yeah.
and then of course they've pitter pattered, and I think four was PS4.
Four I definitely remember
Yeah,
being like PS4
and I
exclusive
remember Xbox,
stuff.
even Assassin's Creed 3. I even had like it was like strong ideas that it was an Xbox. Like this is an Xbox game. You get you what was it? George Washington's evil. You got to fight the king. Like whatever the heck that was. But yeah, but in the same way that Call of Duty has like swapped back and forth, where
Yeah.
like they've picked sides. It's interesting to see that Xbox really has the lock on this one, especially going into this next generation where we at the very least have an idea of what Xbox is going to be.
Yeah.
We still don't know what PlayStation is.
True. Very, very, very true. And actually, like just now, I guess Xbox announced that they're gonna have inside Xbox for Xbox Series X for games, I think specifically.
Oh, really?
It's gonna be kind of like a first look thing for it, and that's happening. We're recording on April 30th. I don't know if this will go up today or
It's
tomorrow.
going up today.
Okay, I'll go be up today, so it's April 30th today.
Yeah.
I think this event's happening on May 7th, so on a
Ooh.
Thursday. And that'll have like game showing off games and stuff. So I assume we will see that'll be like our first actual gameplay look
Yeah.
of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which would be awesome. I'm really excited to see like that game running on like high end hardware. I mean, obviously, I mean, obviously, I think PC would probably be like whatever, but like,
You want to see it in 120 frames. You want
yeah,
to see it at 4K.
I want to see it in 4K going at 100 frames per second with
But,
ray tracing.
but you're gonna watch it on a 1080p video on YouTube.
Absolutely.
So that's what's actually gonna happen.
But I want the choice to be there, Mario.
For sure, for sure.
No, but yeah, I mean, like, if this game is actually running on an Xbox One X, or like they show it in running on an Xbox One X and showing like the world and stuff like that, I think that would be really cool for that event. And I assume that's why they've also partnered with like Xbox, because they're gonna have that. They've already had that event in place and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
like that'll be really cool to see that. Again, I don't know if it's gonna be there. I just assume it is, especially since they showed that last bit with just Xbox logos at the end of that trailer, and then Xbox just announced this event literally an hour later. So.
No,
And
that's
created a
funny.
giant game, like along with like Halo. I assume those are like the two of the biggest games that we'll see on that stream.
And it's funny that you mentioned that, and then we also have to talk about the other thing in the room, Senua's Sacrifice, or at least the new one, Hellblade 2.
Oh yeah.
Another quote-unquote Viking game in their portfolio.
Yeah.
I don't assume that game is coming out this year.
I don't think so either.
But I do find it interesting that now Xbox has at very least 2 high-profile Viking games.
they gotta make up for the lack of God of War now.
There you go. I mean, someone's got to fill that void.
Yeah. So they got 2 games to fill that void.
That's right. God of War on PC. No, I'm just kidding. Don't yell at me.
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very interested, and now that I know that now I'm excited. Because now life has meaning. I have to wait until the 7th to see what happens.
Yeah,
for sure. But like I said, I've been on and off with this series for a while. I'm very much excited that this has gained a buzz simply via a Photoshop thing, and all of a sudden overnight everyone's interested in Assassin's Creed again, and I think that's great because I think that this series deserves it. I'm really excited to see how this is going to come about to be again. And it's funny because I feel like other than Assassin's Creed 2 because it's the sequel. Assassin's Creed 4 to me is the beginning start of this generation, the current one that we're in. And it's interesting to see now with Valhalla being the next start of the next generation to see that cross. So I'm hoping that it carries the same value and love that I have for Black Flag 4. So that's my final thoughts. Do you have any final thoughts on this trailer or Assassin's Creed or just your excitement for this in general?
yeah, I guess just like broad strokes kind of thing. Like the trailer. I mean, I was excited before the trailer. I am still as excited after the trailer. I thought the trailer was really well done, and it was really cool at showing everything there. Um, yeah, I'm just super excited for this game. Like
Yeah.
I do get excited like anytime Assassin's Creed gets announced and stuff like that. So I am still excited. I think my excitement is a little bit more just because this is a cross-gen game. So this is like going to be running on like next gen hardware, and I think that also like amplifies that excitement,
Yeah.
and I think that's really cool, and I really can't wait to see how this looks in comparison to like Odyssey, which I think Odyssey was a pretty good looking game.
100%.
So I'm just excited to see like how graphically how this transforms, and even in gameplay too, like how they improve on some of the gameplay things. And I feel like they've improved upon the system that they've had, this RPG system that they've recently put in.
Yeah.
I feel like they've improved it, like even just from Origins to Odyssey. So like seeing Odyssey to Valhalla, I'd like to see how that goes, and also like the Viking setting and like the Dark Ages of England and stuff. That's something that's like, I mean, it's really cool. Like, and I am definitely interested in seeing like how they portray those historical events with adding a bunch of assassins and Templars again, and like in some like unique ways or not so unique ways. So
No, for
like,
sure.
yeah, I'm really pumped for it for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, you heard it here, folks. This is, again, DualShockers. We are just talking about the Assassin's Creed Valhalla trailer, our experiences with Assassin's Creed, and we are excited to see this unfold as you do. So if you can give us a like, subscribe on the channel. We're trying to build this out. We're doing much more discussions. If you could please check out all articles. Didn't you just write something up? Was it related to this or was it something else?
Yeah, I just wrote just the news article for it. I
Okay.
am doing like some pre-order guide thing, and I'm probably gonna do an everything you need to know stuff. Like the essentials, I suppose. But
For sure.
yeah, I'll be working on some Assassin's Creed stuff
No, for sure.
today. Nothing big or anything though.
But of course, as always, yeah, if you go to DualShockers.com, go ahead and check out all our content. Check out everything that Mike's doing. Check out everyone's doing fantastic work over there. We shall be doing more of these. Maybe if that Xbox Xbox thing comes out and there's a lot of news, maybe we'll talk about that.
That would definitely be a good one to do.
No, for sure, for sure. And so, anyways, please take care, enjoy yourselves, wash your hands, and until the next video.